After a string of shootings around Fremont Street, we have seen security stepped up.
New measures have included metal detectors, an under 21 curfew, and proposed and then tabled. But now Fox 5's Danny Maston is looking into a no color policy.
This is the no color policy sign many of you have been asking us about. I found this particular sign located inside of the Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel on Fremont Street. The signage implies no one shall make it visible on their apparel, accessories, or vehicles that supports motorcycle clubs or gang affiliations while on the Fremont Street Experience member properties. The sign also notes this is in cooperation with Metro Police for ensuring safety when on Fremont Street. We reached out to Metro and they tell Fox 5 LVMPD does suggest this policy to avoid any conflicts between opposing groups, but Metro does not help enforce this policy on properties. If a property asks someone to change or remove an item and they refuse, that would be deemed as trespassing, and Metro says they would then get involved. Locals I spoke with today had mixed reactions on this policy.
Facility or business is posting a sign saying, that they don't want people wearing red or black. To me, that's kind of offensive. I mean, for real. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of gangs downtown.
I think it's good.
Yeah, no color policy is good. There's always going to be a confrontation sometime during the night or early in the morning, and it's rendering Fremont Street unsafe for those of us who come here.
Reps from the Fremont Street Experience sent us this statement. Fremont Street Experience does not influence or dictate policies for individual private properties. Each property has their own policies in place. Fremont Street Experience does not have a restriction on colors today. Reporting from Fremont Street, I'm Danny Maston, Fox 5 News, Local, Las Vegas.
And we also spoke with the CEO of the Plaza Hotel and Casino over the phone, who says while they don't have any signs per se, they do enforce the no color policy on their property.